So in this video, I am going to download and install Debian12, and this is the Bookworm edition. I am going to be installing it in a laptop with a clean installation. So I'm in the Debian page. I'm going to download the ISO file. So I'm going to click on this link. I'll click on the first option, download CD/DVD images using HTTP. So I'm going to choose the AMD 64, and this is on the DVD. I'm going to click on that. Scroll all the way down, and this is the ISO file, Debian12. I'll click on it, and it's downloading. So I'm going to be installing Debian in this laptop, and this is the specs of the laptop. It currently has Windows 7 in it, and this is the processor. The memory is 4 gigs. So I'm going to wipe out this Windows 7 from the laptop, and I'm going to install a fresh, clean installation of Debian Bookworm edition. So the ISO file was downloaded, and the size of the file is 3.7 gigabytes. So I'm going to move this file to the desktop. So I'm going to be using Rufus to create the bootable USB drive. I'm going to download the file. This is the exe file. So I already downloaded the file. So I'm going to open Rufus. I am going to be using a USB drive, and the size of it is 16 gigabytes. So I'm going to click on select. So this is the Debian ISO file. I'm going to select it, click open. I'm going to leave everything as is, click start. Click OK, and it gives you a warning. All data on the USB drive will be deleted. I'm going to click OK. So the bootable USB drive is being created. So the bootable USB drive was created successfully. So now I'm going to take the USB drive and I'm going to boot up the laptop. So before I boot up into the USB drive, I'm going to go to the BIOS in the laptop, and I'm going to disable secure boot. So I'm going to go to security, and I'm going to select secure boot, and I'm going to disable it, and then I'm going to save the changes. So I'm going to boot up from the USB. So I'll select the USB drive, hit enter. So I have all these options here: graphical install, advanced options. I am going to select graphical install. So I have to select a language. I'm going to select English. I'll click continue. Select location, United States. I'll click continue. Configure the keyboard. It's American English. I'll click continue. So it's Canon installation media. So on this page, configure the network. It's detecting the wireless and the LAN. I am going to choose LAN. I'll click continue. So it says here, configure the network. Please enter the host name for the system. I'm going to leave it as Debian. Click continue. So on the domain name, I'm going to leave it blank. I'll click continue. Now here's where you have to set up users and password. So it's asking for a root password. So you can read this carefully. And I'm going to choose this option. The root user should not have an empty password. If you leave this empty, the root account will be disabled, and the system's initial user account will be given the power to become root using the sudo command. So if I leave this empty, the root account will be disabled, and the user account will be given the power to become root using the sudo command. I'm going to leave it empty because this laptop is only going to have a single user. I'll click continue, and it's the full name of the user. I'm going to type John, click continue. I'm going to leave it as John, click continue. I'm going to type a password. I'm just going to type a simple password, click continue. So the time zone that I am in is Eastern. I'll click continue. So this is the partition disk, and it says if you wish to install in UEFI mode and don't care about keeping the ability to boot one of the existing systems, you have the option to force that here. So in this installation, I'm wiping everything from the laptop, the previous operating system. So I'm going to select yes, click continue. So this is guided using the entire disk. I want to use the entire disk. I'm going to click continue. So the first option is the hard drive. The other option is the USB disk. It is selected. I'm going to click continue. So it says yes, selected for partitioning, and the disk can be partitioned using one of several different themes. I'm going to choose the first option, all files in one partition. Click continue. This is an overview of the currently configured partitions and mount points. I'm going to click continue. So here it gives you a warning. If you continue, the changes listed below will be written to the disk. So it says here, write the changes to the disk. I'm going to select yes, click continue. And it's installing the base system. So it says here, configure the package manager. So to do this, you want to make sure that you are connected to the internet by LAN or wireless. So I'm going to use a mirror network. I'm going to select yes, click continue. I am in the US. I'll choose US and I'll click continue. So this is the default. You can choose another mirror here. I'm going to select the first option. For proxy, I'm going to leave it blank. Click continue. And this is the select and install software. So on this page, it says configuring popularity contests. Participate in the package usage survey. I'm going to select no. If you want, you can choose yes. I'll click continue. So this is the software selection, and here you will have to choose a software to install. There's SSH server, web server. So I'm going to leave the default selections. I'll click continue. So now it's installing the Grub bootloader. And it's finishing the installation. So it says if installation is complete, so I'm going to reboot. I'll click continue. So I get the logon screen on the laptop, and I'm going to log on. So when I log on, I get the welcome screen. This is the initial setup. So I have to select my language here, and it's by default, it's English. I'll click next. I'm going to leave it as default. I'll click next. It asks me if I want to connect to Wi-Fi. I'm going to skip. So this is the privacy settings. This is location services. You can leave this on or off. I'm going to turn it off. Click next. Here is where you connect your online accounts. I'm going to skip that. And it says all done. So I'm going to click start using Debian. And on the right side, I can see the battery on the laptop 100%. This is the volume control. This is brightness. I have all these controls here. I have dark mode, night light, airplane mode. This gear icon is the settings. And on the left side, I have all the network Bluetooth appearance. So I can change the appearance also. So I can choose any one of these. These are the background. Also, I can add a picture background. So there's a lot of settings also. There's the mouse setting. There's the mouse and touchpad setting. This is the display setting. So to see a list of software that was installed, I just need to click on activities and on the taskbar here. So I have Firefox here. This is an email client evolution. I can configure an email here. So this is the LibreOffice Writer, and it is similar to Microsoft Word. So this is the files icon. When you open it, it's similar to File Explorer, different folders like desktop, documents, downloads, music. So on the software, I'll click on that. There are three options here. There's Explore, Installed, and Updates. So under the Install, this is a list of software that is installed in Debian. And you can uninstall any one of these. There's Explore. And I can click on any one of these tabs. So I can choose whichever software I want here from the list, and I can install it. I'll click on updates, and it says it's up to date. So there's a grid here. This is the show applications. So I'll click on the terminal. So I'm going to check for updates. I'll type sudo apt update. I'll type the password. So I'm getting an error here, and it's trying to download some of the updates from the E drive, which is a CD-ROM drive. So it says here, updating from such a repository can't be done securely, and it is therefore disabled by default. So to fix that problem, I'm going to close this. I'm going to click on the software app, click on the hamburger sign, click on software repositories. I'll click on other software, and here it is. So I'm going to uncheck this. I'll type the password. So now I'm going to open back the terminal. And I'm going to type back sudo apt update. So there's no error message, it worked. It says all packages are up to date. So installation of Debian in a laptop was successful. So I thank you for watching, and I thank you for subscribing.